Isla Matanceros. It's relatively stable. Yeah, you can get your feet wet here, and you should. Just diving into the deep end of the pool is where the big, angry, hungry things are, and you want to be ready before you try that.
Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome to Jurassic World Evolution. We're going to be building ourselves up a nice little dino park and really having a good run at this game. So we're going to get interrupted a lot by pop-ups in the top right corner.
I'm Cabot Finch, Public Relations and Crisis Management, and I'm here to help you. You'll start by building a Hammond Creation Lab.
Just like that one. And there's more of those to come.
We've already started on an enclosure for you. You should just attach it to the side. But watch out for dinosaurs. Just kidding.
I think we might be clear. Okay, yes, we're clear. So this is Jurassic World Evolution. This is basically a modern-day remake tied into obviously the Jurassic World movie. A modern-day remake of a game that was out, 10, 12 years ago on PlayStation 2? Maybe even longer than that. And the original game was Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. And that was basically the same premise. You built a park and went around to dig sites and went looking for fossils to be able to grow and create your own dinosaurs. And then basically it was Jurassic Park mixed with theme park, where instead of building your own roller coasters and merry-go-rounds, you were building enclosures with various different types of dinosaurs, including obviously raptors, and the T-Rex were the main attractions on that, but also the herbivores and so on and so forth as well. And you could go in there with your rangers, and you could attack the dinosaurs if you needed to, if they were running rampant, if you had a power failure or a fence was broken and dinosaurs got out to the park. All that has been carried across into this game and given a really big modern facelift. Now, I have already had a quick sort of blast around on this game just to kind of familiarise myself with the controls. Played it for enough to complete this first island and kind of stopped at that point. So we're going to work our way through this first island as quickly as we can. We are going to get a lot of pop-ups in the top right corner, so I will have to stop talking every now and again to let those go through. But let's jump in and actually start building up our park a little bit. So the first thing we need to do is put down one of these Hammond Creation Labs. This is where we actually grow and create our dinosaurs. And I want to put this as close to the gate as I possibly can. There we go.
Let's focus on what you're here to do, which is create dinosaur facilities on the islands we call the Five Deaths. Actually, Las Cinco Muertes, because Spanish is the lingo of choice around here. You'll need to connect it to the pre-existing network of paths and the power grid. Now comes the real test, incubating a dinosaur. You'll start with a Struthiomimus. Select the creation lab and pick a hatchery bay. There's enough genome data for your first viable dinosaur.
So this is our genome library. This is all the dino DNA that we have on file at the moment. Now we can only create one dinosaur at the moment, which is the Struthiomimus. We have some DNA for the Ceratosaurus, the Edmontosaurus, and the Triceratops, but you need at least 50% genome to be able to actually create a dinosaur. So the only viable one that we have at the moment is the Struthiomimus. Now, it's a very cheap dinosaur, only costs 30,000, which they do go up in price quite quickly. The Triceratops will cost us 230,000. Forget how much the Edmontosaurus will cost, and the Ceratosaurus is around 550,000 per dinosaur, so very expensive. But let's drop a Struthiomimus in there.
Undoing extinction, playing with nature's laws. What can possibly go wrong?
Come on, Doctor. You know we've learned so much and invested even more in our Jurassic operations since the last time.
Yes, Mr. Finch, yes, the last time. There's always a last time. And a next.
So there we go. Our dinosaur has incubated and is now ready for release. Let's take a look at our first little dino.
Life, it begins. The most precious moment, the result of incalculable actions and reactions, trials and errors, genetic mutations and unknowable combinations, chaos, all leading to a living, breathing, thinking being, an entity, distinct and unique, and now we, you, just manufacture them. So, well done, I guess.
There he is, our first little dino. He's going to have himself a little drink. This is pretty much the first thing all dinosaurs do when they come out of their hatcheries, is to come down to the water and have themselves a nice little drink. So, right, now that that's done, we'll get another pop-up.
The Hammond Foundation has 3 main areas of interest: security, entertainment, and science. I've already nudged the heads of each division to reach out to you personally. They'll offer opportunities and incentives for you to be part of their team. Choose one of their contracts. It'll help you develop your facility.
So yeah, as you said, we have 3 separate teams. I'm going to start off by taking on a contract from our science division. Now you can have up to 3 active contracts at any one time, and there are also missions that you need to do as well. But when it comes to missions, you can only have 1 mission active at any one time, although you can run it alongside contracts. So you can always have something to do, which will give you a task, an easy task usually on a contract, and you'll get a nice little cash reward to boost your finances. You can see we have 2.7 million at the moment. That money will go down very, very quickly.
Dr. Dua. This is our new Director of Operations.
I'm aware, Cabot. I'm Dr. Dua. I run the science division of our operation. Okay, you're going to need to build your reputation in the science division. Not easy with me around, but you'll manage. That means managing our dinosaur population and seeing that they are flourishing.
So yeah, need to build an expedition
Contracts
centre.
can be requested from the division heads inside the control room. Complete these to increase your reputation and gain additional revenue to keep expanding your park.
So when it comes to placing buildings, there's a few things you need to be wary of. You need to be wary of the confines of the map itself, and you can see the white line that ghosts in indicates the natural border of where we can build up to. Then you also have other terrain constraints, so it's how much foliage and uneven terrain is in the way, and that can stop you from building. So you can see we're getting terrain constraints here as a result of that. And then also you need to consider where the power sources are. So you can see this green sort of ring that we're building in. If I move out of that, it should turn yellow. There we go. There's 2 of them on the map at the moment. These are our substations. So we have a power station just here, and then we have these little substations, and buildings need to be near a substation to be able to work. And you can drop in additional substations and then connect them with pylons, so if there isn't a nearby power source, it's not the end of the world. You can actually divert power off to that location. But what I'm going to do is put our lab, our expedition centre in just here. Now, if you build it close enough like that, the path will automatically create. I just want to try and get that squared up a bit. There we go. So that path will automatically build and connect to our network, but move too far away and obviously you have to build a physical path.
If you have a solid reputation with a division, you're more likely to benefit from them. Financially, I mean. But, like life, it's a balancing act. Each division is vying for your attention, and if they don't get it, they tend to take it personally.
Now, with each of the contracts that we do, they'll have a knock-on effect. Sometimes they'll boost one particular industry against the other 2.
But they're wrong. Contracts make the world go around, my friend. Obligations and commitments. Complete a contract and your rep with the science division will increase. Meaning you'll be able to take on more complex and challenging missions.
So yeah, completing a contract will give, for example, a big boost to, say, science, but may have a negative effect against entertainment and security, and vice versa.
I've got an interesting opportunity for you to consider. It will allow us to work together to create life. Pure life. If you've been listening to Dr. Malcolm, then you know how important this is to us, and to me.
So this is our first mission here. And we can only run one mission at a time, as I said. This is the science mission. We need to acquire a 50% genome for Triceratops. Now, this is just the first part. There's multiple parts to each mission, so it's not this simple. There is a bit more to it than this. And you can see we'll get a very generous reward at the end. We'll get $1 million, and we'll also unlock Cardio Strength 2.0 as a genetic trait for some of our dinosaurs as well.
I knew you were my kind of person. Inquisitive, driven, and I knew you couldn't resist this opportunity. So let's get started.
So you can see we have these 3 buildings that
Together,
we've got here.
we can create a more authentic version of our dinosaurs. That means a complete genome. And I think you are up to the challenge. Don't disappoint.
Okay, we'll try this again. Yeah, we've got these 3 buildings that are all in close proximity, and you can see that they all have a little symbol over their head. Now, you don't have to put these buildings next to each other, but because these are the main ones that we're going to be going back and forth to, it kind of makes sense to keep them relatively close to each other. And when they have a symbol over their heads like this, or over the building, it just basically means that they are ready to do something. So this is the expedition center. That symbol means they're ready to go off and hit an expedition site and search a dig for fossils. This is our research center, so it means it's free and ready to do some research. And this is our fossil center. It means it has fossils in stock ready for us to actually start using to extract genome. So first thing we're going to do is we need to get that Triceratops genome up. So let's send our expedition team out.
An expedition center will allow you to send dig teams around the world in search of new dino fossils. DNA can be extracted from these fossils, which our scientists can then turn into living, breathing dinosaurs. And that's our true lifeblood.
So you can see we have these sites here with new fossils discovered. This means it's a brand new dig site when it's yellow. Once we've been there once or twice, well, once we've been there once, it'll go blue, and we get slightly diminishing returns with every trip that we go back. Although occasionally we will get some really good samples after multiple visits. But usually you find your best samples on your first visit or 2, and then after that they start to go down in quality. We need Triceratops genome, so let's send an expedition out to Hell Creek in USA.
Expedition team is out. They'll bring back what they find to the fossil center for extraction.
Speaking of the fossil center, let's go and take a look and see what we've got over here.
Your job is simple, really. Create dinosaurs which attract visitors to your facilities, brings in capital, money, which means you can do more research to build better facilities and create more dinosaurs, and there you go. A circle of life, development and resources, nature and commerce. See? Simple.
So as you can see from these images here, there are 4 different classes of quality of the fossil.
DNA from fossils and amber in order to create new dinosaur genomes. Exciting.
We're going to get a lot of these pop-ups in this first video because it's going to be the first time we're interacting with some of these buildings. But as you can see, there are 4 different qualities of, it's 4 different things there, but there are actually 4 different qualities of sample that we can get. We can get a 1 star, which is a poor quality, will give us very little genome. A medium quality, which is 2 star, will give us a small amount, I think usually around about 4 to 8% of genome. We have a very good sample, which is 3 stars, and then we have a brilliant sample, an excellent sample, which is 4 stars, and that's usually something that's been trapped in amber. And if you see on the right hand image, we also get some other bits that are not dinosaur DNA samples, so we might find some silver or some fish fossils or bird fossils or something like that, and we can sell those to raise some additional funds. Let's see what we've already got in storage. So we have some Struthia mimus. We've got 2 very good quality samples there. We'll extract the genome from both of those, and you can queue all your samples up, so they'll just process one after the other. You can queue up to 6, as you can see. We do have some Triceratops. It's a medium quality, but it's not going to be enough to get us up to 50%. That'll get us to probably 48%. We have some Edmontosaurus, and we also have some Ceratosaurus as well. And again, they'll get us around to 48% or so, so just under the 50 that we need to actually create a dinosaur. But we do have that expedition that is currently going out over to Hell Creek to bring us back some more Triceratops, and when that returns, which should be in a minute or two, they will bring a couple of extra samples with them. So while we're waiting, let's take on a contract. And we'll take one on with science. Why not?
I've received an offer that will definitely help the science division, and can help you as well.
So for this one, we just need to apply an inventory space upgrade to our fossil center. We'll get $125,000 cash as a reward for doing that, and it'll also, obviously, the upgrade will give us an extra slot for our fossil center as well. So we'll take that on. I have to wait another minute before we can request another contract. And as I say, you can have up to 3 contracts running at the same time, and they don't all have to be one of each. You can have 2 from one and 1 from another and none from the third. It's entirely up to you how you want to do that. But let's jump into our research center.
The research center lets you improve your park in various exciting ways. New buildings, upgrades, and more await.
So you can see research allows us to improve and expand multiple aspects of our facilities. We can research and new and improved genes to modify our dinosaurs with, and some items have division reputation requirements that need to be met before we can actually use them. We'll start researching them. So this is what we have, and if we want to get into tinkering with dino DNA, then this is where we do it. You can see here, these are the different traits that we can research, and then when we go into the Hammond Creation Center and choose a dinosaur to incubate, we can actually tinker with its DNA there to change certain characteristics, make it more aggressive or tougher, more resilient, or change its physical appearance a little bit. We're not going to mess around with any of that, but what we do need is to go into building upgrades, because we need to apply this inventory space. It's going to cost us $300,000 to research it, but as I say, we are getting $125,000 of that back as a result of our reward for the contract, so that's not too bad. And here comes our extraction team. You can see the helicopter returning. Look, as soon as that lands, you'll get the little symbols pop up.
You should extract genomes from
There we go.
fossils that have been collected inside your fossil center. That will increase the amount of viable data you have to create dinosaurs.
So you can see these are the 2 remaining that we had queued up. We've now got a new Triceratops quality fossil, or a new Triceratops fossil, which is a really poor quality. Only probably going to give us maybe 2%. We'll extract from that. But we do have a very high quality Triceratops amber. Definitely want to extract from that. And then we have a little bit of silver here as well. So we'll hang on to that for now, but we could sell that and get $120,000. And I like to stockpile these a little bit where possible, just to give me a little bit of spare cash if I'm running a little bit low, because you do burn through money very, very quickly. We've already burned through $700,000, and we're going to burn through a lot more than that in just a few minutes. Let's send our team back out again, and we'll do another run here at Hell Creek. So they'll get there and they'll spend a few minutes working there, then they'll come back and hopefully bring some more good samples with them. We'll see. So what else do we need to do? Well, we need to find a way for people to actually see our dinosaurs, because at the moment our park is not really making any money. People can't really see the dinosaurs that we have, and admittedly we only have 1 right now, but we will have more, and we need for them to be able to see that. So I'm going to build a viewing centre.
Great strides so far. I believe I may be on the cusp of something wondrous, and I have you to thank, at least in part, for where I find myself. Now we need to incubate, hatch, and house our dinosaur. Then we will know if our efforts will have been worth it.
So I'm going to plonk in a couple of viewing windows over here, so that these galleries will allow us the chance to actually make some money with people viewing our dinosaurs. I plonk that one just there. You can see the terrain is actually quite rough here. What we're going to do is we're going to tinker with the terrain with our landscaping tool. I love this tool. Very straightforward. You can raise the terrain, you can lower the terrain, sort of like this, and blob it down a bit, which is always very useful. Obviously, once you've got a building placed, you can't lower the terrain underneath the building because you already have that in place. Just do a little bit of tinkering over here as well. Like so. You can flatten the ground, and that just puts everything on a set level based on the terrain that you start on. So if I started here and flattened it, would raise or lower everything around it to the level of that. Don't want to do that, but I'm going to use the smooth tool just to smooth out these bumps, and you can also increase the radius a bit. So if I get down and you can see it in action, you can see the terrain will get flattened and raised just to smooth out those kind of craters and give you a much better flowing terrain like that. And we'll do the same over here as well. Just kind of smooth it out a little bit over here. There we go. So we have our two viewing windows, but they have no power. So we need to make sure that they're connected. Plus they have no path network as well. So let's drop in a path first of all. That's that one done. Let's do the other one. And we'll just drag this straight down like this. And the pathways are really good because they will naturally snap at a 45-degree angle or a 90-degree angle in some places. Usually just a straight 90-degree angle, but you can also choose exactly how you want it to go. And if you press square, you can toggle the curve on it as well, so you can actually create nice freeform pathways as well just by pressing a button. Really, really intuitive, really simple, straightforward, but very effective little tool.
I want to take this contract, which means you want to take it too, correct?
Well, I definitely want to take this contract because it's a really, really easy one that's going to give us 100 grand just for going out and getting some fossils. Doesn't matter what they are. So yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that straight away. Let's send our team out, and this time we're going to go to Lance formation. We can get Triceratops, Matanceros, and Struthiomimus here as well. So let's send a team out to there, and when they get back, that'll constitute a successful excavation, because they'll have actually brought back something. As long as they bring back a fossil, that's all we need them to do to pass that contract. Let's see what we got from this last trip. Two very low qualities. So I think moving on from Hell Creek was the right decision, because these genome additions are very low, very poor indeed. So back over here, we need to make sure that we have power in these buildings, these galleries. So let's go to the power section here. Now, we don't want to build a power station. We don't need one of those, but we do need substations. The substations are the ones that give us these yellow circles, and this is our area of power. So any building that we want to have operational needs to be at least touched by one of these circles. It doesn't have to be completely in it, but as long as it's partly in it, even if it's just a little bit, that's all it needs. I'm going to drop that one just there, and then it automatically gives us the opportunity to draw and place a pylon to connect it to a network. I'm just going to connect to that pylon there. And that's simple. We now have power at that viewing window over there, and we need to do one over here as well. So I can just press right on the D-pad to select substation from this little mini menu. And I just need to find somewhere where this will fit. So just here, for example. And then again, I can just draw straight down and connect that to our existing power network. And now both of our viewing galleries have got power. It's nice and simple, nice and straightforward. Let's take a quick look in the bottom right hand corner. You can see that this is a little summary of what we need to do for our contract. So we needed to get a Triceratops, sorry, our mission. We needed to get Triceratops up to 50%. So we've done that, and it's triggered the next part of the mission: incubate and release the Triceratops with a 50% genome or higher. So let's go in and let's incubate our first Triceratops, which is actually at 64%. Our excavation team is back. Let's see what goodies they brought with them.
Nice job. I feel like we're starting to understand one another.
Okay, so they brought back a low quality Triceratops fossil.
No matter what anyone else says, science is what makes or breaks us.
That's a very high quality Struthiomimus there. That's really going to give a big boost to our genome.
You are making us and yourself look good.
You can see we found some coprolite and some rhenium as well. 2 items that we can sell. I'm going to sell this one, and I'm going to sell this one as well. I'm going to hang on to the silver, but that's an extra 140,000 that we've just made there. You can see we've got a notification that our dinosaur is ready to be released. A little tick box over our creation lab as well. So let's release our Triceratops into the wild. Triceratops, one of those most iconic dinosaurs from your childhood.
Are meeting expectations, but we want them to thrive. That's your next assignment. Making sure our specimens are properly cared for. In other words, dinosaur welfare.
The difference with dinosaurs is that they have no point of reference to understand humans, so don't expect much in the way of thank yous.
Right, so now we need to construct a herbivore feeder. So we need to go back into our side menu and go to enclosures. And there are 2 types. There's a ground feeder and there's a tall feeder. Now we don't need a tall feeder because this is for something like a brachiosaur. Something with a long neck that's going to need a high up food source. So we just want a ground feeder. Now what I like to do is I like to position these close to the viewing platforms so that you can always get dinosaurs pretty close to the people that are paying to see them.
I've been monitoring what you've been up to with great interest, and I'm a little disappointed that Dr. Dua came to you for this assignment instead of bringing me into the loop as she should have done. I'll discuss this with her later.
And now our mission has changed again, so now we need to construct an operational ranger station, incubate and release a Triceratops with a 70% genome, and research item from the research center, the hookworm parasite, so that we can afford, or that we can form a treatment method for that. Now we don't have a high enough genome yet to get up to 70%, so we need to send our team back out again. Do we go back here? No, let's go back to Hell Creek again. At least we know it's pretty much purely Triceratops there, so there's a good chance we'll get at least 2 samples. Well, we'll get 2 samples. It's just a question of how good they're going to be, but we've got a better chance going to a site that's specific for just one dinosaur when it's only one we need to look at this stage. Now we need to build a ranger station, so that's in our operations mini menu, and this is where we can actually get our little ranger teams to go out and fix any damage to defenses, or to tranquilize dinosaurs. Well, not tranquilize, sorry, to dart gun any dinosaurs that are ill and need a treatment. And I'm going to plonk this as close to the edge of this sort of power zone as I can. There we go. I want that just there. So again, we need to make sure it's connected with the path. And just drag that straight down. And there we go. So it's close enough to get to the power network, because it was just inside the edge of that power circle from our substation over here. It's connected with the path, and so that should spawn in fully operational. Now we need to sort the research out, so let's head over here and let's unlock the parasite treatment. So that is in medical treatment over here. There it is. This is a really quick research topic. It takes less than a minute. Other ones will take a few minutes to quite a lot longer, depending on how far advanced you are with your options. And we are going to have to build a second power station at some point. That's pretty much a given, but we'll see how we do for now. I'm also going to go ahead and quickly drop in a second herbivore feeder just over here. Rotate it round. We'll plonk that one just there. Oh, the weather's bad. And there you can see our research is done. And our fossils are here. Our team is back with some more dino fossils. Let me have a look what else. I know I'm going to need some electrified fences. So let's start researching that. And let's see what goodies our team brought back from their last expedition. Please be good. And that's not bad. 2 medium quality samples. That will definitely give us enough to go over to go to 70% or above, probably above. So we'll extract from both of those, and then we'll be ready to finish off this part of the mission. But I'm going to kind of skip ahead a little bit because I know what's coming on this particular sort of series of missions. So I'm going to go ahead and build our ACU center. This is our animal containment unit, and I want to put this just here next to our ranger station, like that. So you can see here we're having some power issues now. We don't have enough power to do this.
Build more power stations or increase your output.
So because we are going to need another power station, we'll have to put one of those in. But you can see what I meant about burning through money. We only have 118,000 at the moment. We just burnt through nearly 2 million really quickly. As long as we get enough, you can see our money is going up because we are making a little bit of a profit now that we have these visitor centers open and we can actually charge people to see the dinos. Without those, we were actually losing around $7,000 a minute. Now we're actually gaining a few thousand a minute, so we're making some money. Not much, but we have 2 different dinosaurs for people to look at, so they can see something, and they are paying for that. Just need to get a little bit more. How much is our genome looking like now? 72%. That's good enough. That's still too expensive. We need 230,000 at the moment. We don't have that kind of money. We're just going to have to wait a little bit longer, unfortunately. But while we're waiting, what I can do is I can show you the ranger station. Now, our ranger team and our ACU team, once it's powered up, these can actually go out and perform tasks that you control, that you assign to them, or you can take manual control of these. I'm going to take manual control of my ranger team for a moment. So if I wanted to go out and fix a fence, I could send the team out with a task, or if I wanted to administer medication to a sick dinosaur, again, I could add a task, or I could drive the vehicle and do it myself. I love bombing around in this thing. And pulling handbrake turns. You can't run over the pedestrians, just in case you were wondering. I did try, but it won't let you do it. It's just giving us the little help boxes there because we're actually currently out of power and can't run the ACU. But the other thing you can do with your ranger team is you can take photos. Oh, you see here we actually need to resupply. So we'll hit the resupply there. And you can see here we can actually take photos as well, and then we can sell the photos. And sometimes we'll make a little bit of money, sometimes we'll make a lot of money. On this one here you can see we get a multiple dinosaur bonus because we have both Triceratops and Struthiomimus in there. And if you have diverse behavior bonus, sometimes you can get, if they're doing different things, you can get an extra bonus for that. You get a composition bonus depending on the setting and style of your photo, and each dinosaur has a specific value reward. But if you keep taking photos of the same dinosaurs over and over and over again, then you do lose out on subsequent photos. I think we actually resupplied that a little bit too soon, but never mind. How's this one looking? Yeah, that doesn't need restocking yet. And you don't have to manually drive out, you can just give back control to the AI by pressing circle to take control off there. So we're up to 183,000.
3 words. Contract you yes.
You see here we need to get a dinosaur's genome up to at least 60%. Well, we've kind of already done that, so we'll have to do that with a different dino.
Yes.
Oh, that's a point.
Is usually the most
We want to raise some money.
And where did this all begin other than prehistoric DNA? I'm just saying. Or warning. You decide.
There we go. I forgot that we had that little bit of silver, which is really good because it meant that we had enough to be able to incubate our 70% plus Triceratops, which means we can complete this mission. We're going to need the ranger team for this, so I'll bring those back in just a second. But once we release that, one of the dinosaurs, probably the one we release, is immediately going to get sick. We'll need to go and dart that and tranquilize, well, not tranquilize it, but dart it, just to make sure that it's nice and healthy. Just looking at that big bump there, and I'm wondering if I need to remove that maybe. You can see we're now making $29,000 per minute, so our money is definitely improving a lot better than it was at the start. And here you can see, just impossible. People kind of just get nudged out of the way and throw their arms up going, "Hey, I'm walking here." Because of course they're all from New York. It's going to park up here for a second. Basically, we need to wait for our dino to finish incubating, and I want to keep this here so that it takes a little while for the AI to turn the vehicle around, so that it's still in here. We can quickly cut to it. Let's check on the genome. Almost done. Almost done. You'll see our truck will actually start moving again in a second. There comes our dinosaur, and it is going to get sick very quickly. You can see they're trying to move, as you can see. We're going to take control again. And there is our Triceratops. So this is going to get sick. Oh, it's the other one that's got sick. And there you go. You can see it's contracted hookworm, and wouldn't you know it, it's the only disease that we can treat. Oh, is he going to ram me? Nope.
Gosh, you got a sick dinosaur on your hands. It's time to treat it. Or what comes next? That's going to be on your hands.
It'll take 3 hits. I think I hit the wrong one there. Nope, I got all 3 on this one. It takes 3 darts to administer the medication to a Triceratops. Other dinosaurs may vary. But he's all nice and healthy again now, so we have done that. And we have pretty much completed that mission. So let's give control back. And there you go, mission complete. Nice little $1 million bonus. Which means now we can afford to build that power station.
We are on the path to a pure strain dinosaur. This will definitely shift the paradigm. I can't ignore this accomplishment. With your help, obviously. That goes without saying. But under my direction. I think we make a good team. Let's do this again. I'll let you know when.
So I'm going to build this here, out the back and out the way.
Failed before. Now with you, she believes she is on her way. Does she really think she can accomplish what I have not?
There we go. And I need to put a pathway in there as well. So for this one I'm going to do a freeform path. Just to kind of bring it around that corner a little bit. Let's go to there first and then curve it around. Like so. And then connect up to the building there. There we go. So our power station is connected. When that comes online, that'll power up our ACU. And it's time for us to see if we can take on another mission. It might be our reputation level is too low. And yes, you can see our reputation at the moment too low to unlock those first missions. So we need to take on contracts with both entertainment and with security to boost their reputation enough to unlock that first mission for either of those two. So let's request a mission for security.
This is Lambert, head of security.
Yours, theirs, and mine. Welcome to the islands. So here's our basic conundrum. We want to keep our animals under control while simultaneously encouraging instinctive behaviors. Because these animals have potential as combatants. Look, everyone's fear object, myself included, is to have these animals running free and loose in the park. But we can't exploit them globally without taking some chances.
So one of the ways for us to improve our profit, which you can see is falling about $30,000 short at the moment, is to add in additional dinosaurs. You don't want to go too crazy because you end up with too many animals in too cramped a condition, and it can stress them out because there's too many mouths to feed and not enough space for them to have their own little territory. But just adding in a couple of more Struthiomimus should help us a little bit. And the more dinosaurs you have, then the more people, or the more dinosaurs for people to see. So in theory, it's taken a little bit of a dip because we just spent some money, but in theory it should go up in a moment. We can also do other things as well. So if we go into our guests section, then we can also add in something like a gift shop, a fast food restaurant, an emergency centre, a hotel, once we have the funds for it. There we go. And there is something we can research, which is a clothing store somewhere. Here it is. So as you can see, a lot of these things are all locked out at the moment. We just don't have access to them. I'm hoping as we progress, we'll gain access to these, and then we'll be able to go into kind of a free build once we've kind of worked our way through all the various tutorial islands. And you can see there, our profit's gone back up to 40,000 again, now that we've recovered from that little hit. We need to find some more dinosaur DNA as well. So if I bring us up here, you can see we have Matanceros, and I'm going to go for this one, because we do have that contract to get one of our genomes up to 60%, so we'll do for this one here. We need to apply the inventory space upgrade to a fossil center. We still haven't done that yet. We unlocked it, but we never actually applied the upgrade. So this is how you apply them. You basically get onto the main screen like this, and you press R1 to tab across. Choose an upgrade slot that's empty, and you can see actually we have 3 bays just behind our building, and these are the 3 upgrade slots. And whatever we choose, and we're going to go with inventory space, gets built in one of those bays.
Impressive work on that contract. It didn't go unnoticed.
And there we go, that's another contract completed. Let's see if we can pick up another one. Let's go again with security.
A contract just landed on my desk. You need to take a look.
Increase your dinosaur rating to 1 star. So at the moment our dinosaur rating is 0.4 stars. Not great, but we only have 2 different dinosaurs in there. So yeah, we need to kind of give that a little bit of a boost. And the more dinosaurs that we add in to our park, the better that dinosaur rating becomes. So I'm just trying to think what to do next. We've got some research going on, haven't we? Nope, we haven't. So I'm going to jump ahead with some research because I know it's coming. And I'm going to go for the ACU asset reload speed, because I know that's something that we're going to need to have to research in a moment. Kind of skip ahead just a little bit, save us a little bit of time. And I'm also going to add in, to try and get our profit up a bit, which has gone up again as you can see, I'm going to add in a gift shop. Now where shall I put the gift shop? I think I'll put a gift shop just here. There we go. And then I'm also going to add fast food store next door if I can. Yeah, the terrain constraints are going to stop me there. So let's see if I can flatten that ground out a bit. So this is the level I want to be at. So if I can flatten it down like this, it means I'll have a slightly steeper pathway just there, but it might allow me to actually build something in that little space there. Let's see. What was it we were going to build? It was fast food, wasn't it? Yeah. See if we can get a fast food. Yes, we can. We can now squeeze that in there. So we'll drop a fast food in just there as well. Right, we have fossils. Let's see what we've got. We have Edmontosaurus, a 1-star and a 2-star. Not great, but enough to get us over 50%. We need to get over 60. And we're still a little cash poor. So I'm going to sell that skin impression as well for an extra 100,000. Send our team back out to the same dig site, get some more DNA. There we go. And our profit's now up to 51,000, so we're getting closer and closer to our $75,000 contract requirement. And we now have a new viable genome, so I'm going to release one Edmontosaurus. Now, it's not a guarantee that this is actually going to incubate. The lower the percentage, and remember we need that minimum 50 for it to be a viable genome for us to actually make one in the first place, but the lower the percentage between 50 and 100, the bigger the chances that the incubation period will actually fail and you won't end up with a dinosaur. You still end up paying for it, but it fails to incubate and you have to basically discard it and start again. So you always want to have a nice strong genome before creating, especially when you get to the really expensive dinosaurs as well. Like I said, the Ceratosaurus is the most expensive one I've seen so far, and that's 550,000 each. Very, very pricey compared to just 30,000 for a Struthomymus. Up to 50% incubation. Hopefully that's going to go all the way through, and we can do some more research as well. Let's see what else we can research. I get the feeling we might potentially run out of power again, so I'm going to go with an upgrade to our power output here. Now, just researching it doesn't mean that we automatically get that. We still have to physically apply upgrades to our buildings once we've researched them. All we're doing is we're unlocking them. And this is still letting us know that we have that new fence type, which is this one here, the electrified fence. Now, we'll need that when we build a carnivore. Well, we might do. We could potentially get away with just a regular fence, but we could go with with an electrified fence. I'll think about that. Oh, there we go. Dinosaur is ready. Let's release our Edmontosaurus. There he is. He's a big fella. And we have more fossils. Oh, we have a very high quality. Yes, we'll take that. So that's going to put us over 60.
Edmontosaurus was originally uncovered at a site in Canada. I'll let you guess where. The T-Rex thinks these are delicious. And who's to argue?
And you can see by adding in this new dinosaur, we've now got a dinosaur rating of 0.6 stars. So that's gone up by 0.2. And our profit has gone up again as well. We're now just a couple of $1,000. Well, $1,500 short of reaching our contract target over there as well. So we are getting closer and closer and closer to achieving some real progress on our objectives here. I am going to send them back there one more time. Oh, there we go. Just hit 2 contracts at once.
The security division is all that stands between our animals and catastrophe. Good to know we have the resources to stay vigilant.
amazing work. You have my thanks.
Let's go with more security contracts, because again, we want to boost our reputation.
Contract. I have a feeling it'll be worth it in the long run. For both
Okay,
of
we're
us.
going to need to create a second Edmontosaurus for that. So let's go back in here. What's our current genome rating? 64%. Alright, well, we'll hang off just a second, because we know we've got a couple more fossils coming, so we may as well wait and just extract that extra little bit of genome before we create our second Edmontosaurus, because they aren't cheap. And that'll help. And let's see what else we can do. You see there, we've got 3 different animals all lurking around here. And the more animals you have, more dinosaurs you have in an enclosure, the more feeders you need to put in to make sure that they all are okay. You can see, if we look at their different charts, if we click on, say, our Montosaurus here, you can see if we pull up the dino stats, you can see the red is bad, so you don't want to be in the red. His food is going up because he's having a little nibble on a bush, as you can see right now. Having some tasty treats there. So the food is good, water's good, he's got plenty of water, comfort is happy, grassland requirements are met, forest requirements are met, population is okay, social is a little low, but he's going to get a buddy to talk to in a moment, so he'll be fine on that. But you can see that some of them have dead areas or bad areas at the start and beginning, so at the start and end of one of those progress bars, so they have like a window within the bar that they need to sit at. So you need to balance how many dinosaurs you're putting in an enclosure of a particular type, as well as how many you're putting in there overall as well, just to make sure that you're not putting too many of one particular type in. You get some dinosaurs that like to be quite solitary or just move around in small numbers. They don't want to be in huge, great big herds or packs. We're at 67%. Is our team back yet? Not quite. We can do some more research though. Oh yes, we'll take that. That will improve the genome. And here comes our fossil team. So let's extract some more. Oh, look at that, a 3-star. Very nice. And some additional samples to sell. So let's get rid of that. And get rid of the silver as well. And now we're back up to just under 900,000. Very nice. So as soon as we've got this dinosaur ready to release, we'll get the photograph done. Just got to wait for this extraction process to finish. You can see we're almost done with the first sample. Second one won't take very long either. So let's bring our team over. Let's drive the vehicle. Let's try and get it in position so that we can get ready to take that photograph. And then that'll probably be the last thing that we do today. A lot more crowded in the park now, as you can see. Oh, something needs a refill. You can see the symbol has popped up. It's our feeder. So I'll resupply that one. And the other one needs it as well. There we go. We should have finished extracting by now. We have. Excellent. So let's go into the creation lab and incubate another Edmontosaurus. Now 73% on the genome. Very nice. And let's take control of our ranger team again. These things slide all over the place in the rain. They really do. I haven't tried driving them in the water yet, actually. What if they sink? No, they kind of just hover on the surface of the water a little bit. It's not quite deep enough for them to do that. But I did like the big bow wave we created as we crashed in there at speed. That was pretty awesome. Make our way back through again. Again, I'm just trying to leave these guys in here so I can take the photo as soon as it's ready. We're at 56% incubation here. I'm hoping adding a second one of these in will improve our dinosaur rating again as well. See the AIs trying to maneuver these guys out. They're getting ready to return to Ranger Base. Might have to jump in and take control again in a second. 80% and climbing. Pull a handbrake turn. And let's park them up here in the corner. It'll take them a little while to turn around because they're really slow at turning. And let's release our Matanceros. There we go. So now we can retake control of our Rangers. And we need to get both of them in the photo. So he should, in theory, either go straight to a feeder or down to the river straight for a drink. I'm not sure which of the two he's going to do. I'm hoping he's going straight to the water because that's where the other one is. Oh, they're coming together. Excellent, there we go.
I myself have dabbled in photography. Nothing as good as this, mind you.
Fantastic, we've completed the contract, so that should hopefully unlock the mission.
For solving problems. That's a valuable skill, especially around here.
And it has, look, here we go, here comes the mission.
Lambert here. I've got a new assignment that I think is perfect for your skill set. Give it a once over, then let me know if you're interested.
So, we've got our security mission now. This will be a straightforward one, and we've already done the first part of it, acquire a 50% genome of the Matanceros. But we won't do it now, we will do this next time. We've run out of time, so that's it from me today. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Barber, and I'll be back with the next part of Jurassic World Evolution very soon.